Dört. Yeah. Esselamu aleyküm.
You want to quit?
Esselamu aleyküm ve rahmetullah.
There's no screen sharing on Zoom. You want to quit out of the YouTube? The YouTube, do you want to quit?
Esselamu aleyküm ve rahmetullah. I'm sorry. I'm handicapped in technology. So, Allah. Get rid of this. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri ve hlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve ceal li veziran min ehli Harun ahi üşdud bihi ezri ve yeşriku fi emri key nusebbihake kethira ve nezkurake kethira inneke kunte bina basira. Allahümme allimna ma yenfa'una ve enfa'na bima allamtena ve zidna ilma ve erinel hakka hakkan versukna ittiba'ah ve erinel batile batilan versukna ictinabe ve sallallahu ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellem velhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. Amin. Esselamu aleyküm ve rahmetullah. I'm sorry for the technical detail, but also we prayed, alhamdulillah, that was okay. Everybody is welcome. Assalamu alaikum. You are treating somebody privately. So do it generally, welcome everyone. Yeah. So she must have missed you. Inshallah. Okay. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Ud'u ila sebil rabbike bil hikmeti vel mev'izatil hasene ve cadilhum billeti hiye ahsen. İnne rabbeke huve a'lemu bimen dalla an sebilih ve huve a'lemu bil muhtedin. So this verse we will be careful. There are many sections here that we have to study separately, inshallah, one by one. Okay. The general meaning of the verses, as far as the translation is concerned, call people to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good teaching. Argue with them in the most courteous way, for your Lord knows best who has strayed from his way and who is rightly guided. Now, many points are made in this verse, so inshallah we will go one by one. First of all, the first part, which my cursor shows, call people to the way of your Lord. That's one section. So the question, or what we have to concentrate on, is call people to the way of your Lord. What is the way of your Lord? What does it mean? Interesting, the word is used, sebil. But there are many other verses in the Quran. Sebil, Sirat, Tariq, Sharia. Also, what else? There was another one. Minhaj. Minhaj also is a way. Okay. All of them have different meaning according to different contexts. So why particularly the word sebil is used here? Sirat is general. Everybody goes in his in one lane. But Sirat means it is protected on the sides. So as long as you are in it, but which lane you follow doesn't matter. Tariq means where many feet are stepped on, tariq. So many people went there, but it is not really as wide as the Sirat is, so as comfortable as the Sirat is. It's a bit a hard way. That's why certain school of mysticism, if you like it, Sufi school, they say our way is tariq. You have to go there and it's hard, but you have to work really steadily. So in other words, it's sabil, mainly used. Sabil is a kind of private word for yourself, for your drive way, for example. So here, the Quran says, call people to the way, let's use it now, this specific word is in Arabic, sabil, of your Lord. It means, it's very interesting. For example, I am calling somebody, let's say here, Khalid. So I'm calling Khalid. I have to call Khalid to a way of his Lord, specific to his characteristics. Take notes of it. I'm calling Aya. No, that's the name I know. So I know everyone, but not by name. So I am calling Aya, specific to his capacity, characteristics, education level, understanding, interest area, depending on you. So there is a relationship between calling with wisdom and the word sabil here, not sirat. If it was sirat, hikmat will be very vague. Wisdom will be very vague. But sabil means specific, fitting to the addressee's characteristics. It may be yourself, according to your own characteristics, according to your capacity or interest area, your questions, your interests. But this is sabil. How about sabil rabbike? Not sabilillah. Understood? Allah is the general proper name for the creator. Rab is the one who takes care of you, maintains you, your existence, so your needs according to you. We have to know that. One thing in order to understand why sometimes the word Allah is used, sometimes Rab, sometimes in other title or name of God. We have to be very careful that we are special. You know, there are two ways of manufacturing clothes. One is, how is it called? Let me remember the word. You know, standard sitting. So one type, not a special for you. Mass production. Mass production. Is it called? No, it's not. Fabrication, you know, making the fabric or a plant. So one type is used for many. Or that is one way of, you go to the cloth store, it is not for you, but you will try to find something fitting in you. But another way of doing it, going to a tailor, make a dress according to my body, my appearance. So you go to the, for example, optician, they suggest you one pair of glasses. Well, this fits you, this fits you. But making a special cloth, which is called, you know, tailor-made for you. What does it mean? Why do I go this way? Every human spirit is a tailor-made for you. It means God specifically created you. That's the ayah. You are going to be called in the word ayah, and your spirit is specifically designed for you. Everybody is specifically created, meant to be. Humankind is not mass production. You know that everybody is completely different. I am different from all of you. And you are different from the other rest of us. Everybody is unique. It means we are so precious before God that He specifically created for me. Do you understand? The creator of the universe, the owner of the universe, meant to create me specifically as I am, not mass production. So we have to know that we are so precious in the eye of God. I created you specifically with my own hand, as if like. There was a ذرني وما خلقت who, what was the word? Continues of ذرني وما خلقته وحيدا. Now this verse. No, specifically one, I created you as unique to you. Let me deal with him now as he deserves or she deserves to be. Right? So specific. Lord means Rabbul Alameen, the one who takes care of the universe. But your Lord, your Rabb means the one who created it specifically, dealing with you specifically, taking care of you specifically according to your needs. That is the absolute being can do it. No one else can do it. So we have to understand that everything is happening to me. It is designed specifically for me. So I'm so precious. And when I am speaking to somebody, I have to bear in mind. This person is not like me, not anybody else. It's a specifically tailored by God. I have to deal him so delicately, carefully. So I have to watch out. While I am calling somebody, say that, yeah, all people, Muslimun, do this. It's just for khutbah. That is for general sermon. But when it comes to treatment with the people, one by one. Like if you go to a doctor for some reason, inshallah, you don't need it. But when you go there, they know that you are a specific person. Although they describe mass production medicine, but still they say, let's see how your body will react to it. Specific, everyone. So we have to call people to the way unique to that person, so he will reach out. He will recognize who his Lord is specifically. We have to watch out. So we cannot really make general statement, everybody is the same as if. No, we have to watch out this. Sabil, call people so that they will use. This is an interesting way of understanding, actually. They will use their human qualities as it is given to them by their creator, so that they will use them as tools to go back to their creator. It means connect their feelings to the source of their existence. So we have to know this person's way to go back and connect himself, his feelings to his creator. So whatever happens to me, something good, something bad, worrying, anxiety, causing anxiety, whatever, pleasure, pain, whatever, all of them, I will say, this person will say, so help them to understand that this event is created for you specifically. So try to connect yourself to its source of existence. When you are angry, for example, God created it for me specifically. What does it mean? How can I utilize this creation so that I can connect my feeling to say, oh, my Lord specifically dealing with you. Creator is general. Everybody is created, but in specific way. So, oh my Lord, you are teaching me specifically in this event, through this event. How can I connect it? If I am giving an advice, I have to give an advice to the people. Just try to see his or her capacity, expectations, and try to help him or her to recognize his creator, connect his feeling to him. It means he is teaching me, he is my teacher, he is my teacher, and I am going to return to my feelings, not to the one who, for example, somebody annoyed me. Not dealing with the person who annoyed you, looking at him, etc. That is for worldly affairs. But as far as the purpose of our existence is concerned, I have to say, by creating this event, through this man, doesn't matter. What do you mean by God? My God, my Lord, what do you mean? What are you teaching me? So the person who is really trying to connect himself to the creator, he has to focus on the event to see what lesson he is going to get out of this specific creation for you. Everybody will say, this is for me. But this person caused me the problem. That is it. Simple body things, You may say something to him, but your mind, your feeling will work to connect yourself to God. That is the way how we should give advice to people, but especially ourselves. Especially ourselves. So call yourself to the way of your Lord, according to your conditions. I think the first item is done. Any problem, any questions, any concerns? Okay, 2, how do you define wisdom and good teaching? I think wisdom is becoming a bit clearer. Now, wisdom is related to the first part of the verse. Wisdom means you have to your wisdom. Speak wisely in a way that it makes sense to the person. That everybody knows practically that if you are speaking to a person who has who is in certain age, certain capacity, certain profession, accordingly you speak. But when we call people to God, we cannot make general statements. Believe in God. What do you understand from God? What the person understands from God. Take notice of his position, not your position. So don't compare yourself with him directly. For example, if you are telling something to somebody, in this position, you are the teacher. When you try to teach something to your students, what do? Where I am now, I am in the elementary school or high school or at the college. Accordingly, you speak. That is simple. But when it comes to religious advice, we may not notice this very simple wisdom. We make general statements. So, okay, I wouldn't go at specific examples. So, namely, for example, a person newly acquainted with Islam, we say, what do you do? How are you? Well, I work in this. Where? in somewhere which is not appropriate. Oh, you cannot work there. You are a Muslim anymore. So anyway, I don't want to give many examples, but he cannot understand the fundamentals of it. Even he doesn't know. Yeah, there must be. Islam is very attractive. Why? It makes sense. Everything needs to be created. Yeah. Nobody can say that. Nothing can say that, oh, the galaxies are so big, they don't need to be created. Is there anyone in the world? Everything needs to be created, especially the people coming from Christian background where we are now here. So they are from the very age of somewhere around 15, 16, at the latest, they start questioning. Jesus is Son of God. What do you mean by God who has Son? It's like an human being. What are you talking about? This kind of adopted God, adopted Son of God. Adopted. What do you mean by it? All of us are the same created beings. So when they hear that in Islam, everything with no exception it needs to be created, and only the one who creates the universe can be our creator. It's appealing. It's very easy to understand the definition of God or description of God, belief in God in Islamic tradition or in Islamic teaching is very appealing, and many people, no one can say no. I mean, it makes sense. Unless somebody says matter is itself acting. If somebody is so simple-minded that they will say matter is choosing, specifically, here is a man, here is a woman. So, for example, man is accidentally, randomly developing to become a man and a man. For example, reproduction. So reproduction cells are evolving to become a man, but it cannot really produce it if the cell doesn't know what is going on in its counterpart, women. How do they know? So it is interesting. Now it's serious now. It's very serious. They understood that every single being, in the physicists, understood every single being directly in connection with each other. And universe cannot be separated, cannot be disentangled. It is impossible. Impossible. You cannot disassemble the universe. Everything is so connected tightly with each other, perfectly harmoniously. They realized and they noticed, they say nowadays, particles are communicating with other particles in the stars, for example. But they say particles are themselves communicating. Qur'an says everything is connected to each other by an absolute one knowing everything at the same time. So you cannot really disassemble universe or take one part and individually study it. No, you cannot really human beings, you cannot study human eye without knowing the connection with human heart, human lung, I don't know, all this digestive system, all of them, the brain and everything. Everything is so much. So if you are studying a cell in the eye, how it is so-called, quote unquote, evolving itself, adapting itself. This cell must know the heart, must know the lungs, must know the stomach, must know the livers, must know intestines, how they are separated in the intestine system, and the stomach. Everything is so much perfectly refined from each other. Blood is pure, right? Meats, elements are pure, bones are pure. Vitamins go there. I don't know if you have something wrong with your eye, you have to eat carrot more. Yeah, they found out this, correct. Maybe correct, I don't know. Nutritionists tell that. They found out how many centuries later in human history? I don't know, maybe thousands. So how my intestine system know that this vitamin needs to be delivered to my eye cells? They should know my eye. So accordingly, they evolve. I don't know, but my cells know. That is the mentality. So it is very, very illogical the way they interpret it as they see it. That is, I see that. No, no, you see that? The computer is working, huh? So it is working. No, engineer, what are you talking about? It's working. Don't be mystical, or they call it mythology. Why? Where is engineer? Here it is. It is working. It seems to be working. Don't you see that? Working. Like this mentality, very simple. So what we understand from here, Islam is very consistent in its main teaching of the first foundation of Islam is God is the only creator who is nothing to do with the universe, but the creator of the universe. That's done. So we understand here, when I am calling people to Islam, it's not difficult to call people to Islam by introducing the concept of God. It is appealing. Afterwards, the problem starts. Now, the person starts that I'm going to be a practicing Muslim now. I like this understand. Okay, what should I? We have to introduce. We have to really bow down before God. All right. Oh, did you roll up your trousers? People say, which kind of religion is it? What is it to do with trousers? I have to roll out. Ridiculous. How do we make Islam irrational, not wise, unwise, not how do you call it? Opposite of wise? Sorry? Something, foolish. Reducing prayer to rolling up the trousers. your, your trousers. So as if it's most essential. So if you don't do it, you cannot walk on your sabil, on your way to Lord. You have to pull out as if you are going to go through a river or something. Ridiculous. Really ridiculous. And if you study the hadith narration, it has no reality at all. That is something else. Nothing to do with while you are praying, you have to roll up trousers. Definitely the Prophet never wore trousers. By the way, problem is from us. Yeah. Thank you. Division is the greatest, our friend said. So, wisdom. Good teaching comes here, maw'idah. So, good teaching means sympathetic, appealing, not really having a frowned face, serious face. No, just a sympathetic way, friendly way. The prophet was, even when something happens, a very really disappointing, just like this. That's it. Frown. That's it. And then gives a nice advice. So it means again here the good teaching, sympathetic teaching, but we love frightening people. If you don't do this, no, hell is terrible. Just teach them nicely so that they will understand the right way. So they will say, oh, if I don't do it, I will be really in hell position. It means I will have a problem for my life, within my life. So my feelings will suffer from it. Can you imagine that I have no meaning in the life, in this life? I'm going to die and disappear. This is the most important subject. You are not in this world just accidentally happen to be development of some material beings, and you are going to rot away at the end. Which kind of pleasure you can enjoy, entertain in while we are living? So we have to say good teaching means really advising according to the needs of the people. People need encouragement, not, can you tell something by threatening people? Definitely it doesn't work, or just repel. So we have to use this word, good teaching means sympathetic, appealing, appreciating, understanding. But that's very important. If a person is really suffering from something, you have to have an empathy with him. Think that if I have this, what I would like to hear, encouragement, positive encouragement, not saying that, if you do this, God will punish you. So the first image that God is a punishing, angry God. But God says, I have created everything out of my mercy. So inshallah, I'm very excited. After this verse, I don't know whether we will be able to finish it. Try, but we will start most delicate verse in the Quran that every Muslim uses every time. What is it? Bismillahir Rahman. So we will study Bismillah Rahman Rahim in detail, And you will see how meaningful, powerful is it. I'm amazed about it. So let's keep our enthusiasm about it for the next time. So the third one, can you give an example of calling with wisdom, with good teaching, wisdom and good teaching it should be, yeah, to somebody. So I had this and the result was like this. Any example that you would like to share? Anyone? But as if I'm doing an auction. 1, 2, 3, come. So 4, presenting your understanding to other people and defending your belief is encouraged. Do you see that? Huh? He said, call people to way of your Lord with wisdom and good advice. Argue with them in the most courteous way. I don't know why. Courteous. Yeah, courteous. Courteous.
It's courteous.
Courteous. Courteous way.
Courteous.
Courteous way. Now, it means, look at the word jadil. You know that jadala? It means really arguing with people. It doesn't say don't argue with anyone, argue with not in the negative say. Interact with them. They will say something, you will respond back, but not really trying to win the argument. But we have to understand that وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. Argue with them in the most courteous way. What does it mean? هي أحسن. هي أحسن. It is very good word actually. The best, the most suitable way. Ahsan. Ahsan is not only the beautiful, but the most beautiful. All right. So better than, for example, you see the debates. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, I never liked them. No, a Muslim should never debate to win the argument. No? Yes, we have to communicate with people. Yes, we have to respond back to their questions and their disagreements or rejections, give our answer. But not that I'm going to defeat you. Huh? Not look for the person's need and speak to according to his need or her need. Oh, debates are horrible. But, of course, arguing with a courteous way is encouraged in the Quran. So, but in the most courteous way, what is the difference between wisdom, good teaching, and courteous way of argument? Is it something extra or the same thing? We have to follow first wisdom. Whatever we say must make sense. Intellectually must make sense. You say, if you say, no, that is what Islam says, you have to accept. And okay, I would rather be a Christian then. They say, have a belief. It's a matter of faith. What is the reason? No, don't use your reason. What do you think God created my wisdom for then? If I'm not going to use the wisdom in the most essential matter related to my existence, I'm not going to use my wisdom. What am I going to do then? To do my shopping? But it's so simple. So we cannot do the same thing if we are talking in the name of Islam. Never. The Quran encourages reasoning everywhere. Yaqilun, yatafakkarun, ulul albab. What is faqih in Islam means really thinking deep into the meaning. Not only yash'urun, consciously thinking. So we have to be very careful. Wisdom is one element. Calling to people according to their characteristic needs, the second element. This is the first element, actually. Second element, whatever we say, whatever we also ourselves as well, must be a wise advice. So full of wisdom. And also, it's a good, appropriate teaching. So the difference now, you may get engaged into an argument. You may say a counter argument. That is fine. You don't understand. You say this, okay, go ahead with it. Bye-bye, I have nothing to do with you. No, you have to respond back and defend your understanding, your belief, but in a courteous way. It means respectful, kind, in the best way. Never say that, for example, never say, what you say is nonsense. It is very bad. It is something, labeling, stereotyping. We will come this matter as well. Let's go up there. So we have to use for example, if a person offers you a cup of coffee, you have to say, okay, come to my house, let's have dinner. That is the بأحسن. هي أحسن. هي أحسن. So it is whatever is better than what the other person is doing to you. If but just an example, if he shakes your head, you have to hug him. So that is what the Quran is saying. So if he speaks to you the peaceful face, you have to use a smiling face in a better way. How can you argue with a person with an argument saying that you are wrong? Your book is saying this, wow, shouting. Accusing the person. It means pushing him back, pushing him back. Nothing to do with the advice that we learn from the Quran. We have to be always respectful to the people. Even, for example, I can manage. I don't need to sit in the subway train. Then I can stand for hours. Alhamdulillah, but my health is fine for the moment. But sometimes anybody doesn't know me. And because he sees that I'm an old man, and he or she offers, mostly she, by the way, no, she offers a seat. You know, the melting this ice, all my feelings melt. I see that I am one of these people. Just offering you the seat for half an hour, for example, in the subway, 20 minutes, half an hour, makes everything soft, sympathetic, loving. Not this courteous way. Courteous way is this way. Just offering something. Now, you are doing it after the okay. So this is understood that every section of every word of the Quran, this verse supports each other, but gives another perspective, adds another perspective, and advancing step by step, step by step. Now, so the following says, I think we have to speed up. For your Lord knows best. God knows best who has strayed from his way. What does it mean? And who is rightly guided. You cannot say, the most sensitive companion is Abu Dharr al-Ghifari. Although Abu Bakr, Umar, Ali are famous, but the most sensitive, most honest, how do I say? No way, only for the sake of God, is Abu Dharr al-Ghifari. He has an interesting background. This tribe, Ghifar, was between Mecca and nowadays somewhere in around, not close to Damascus nowadays. That area used to be called that time the blood of Sham, Damascus, but the Arab Sham. It means that time it was Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, the north part of Jordan, and the west part of Iraq. So this area, all this, there was Iraq. The trade center was one of the states, I forgot its name. Now, I don't know whether it exists now or not. So the trade road used to go from Mecca to this area via the where the tribe of Ghifar lived. They were nothing but highway robbers. They didn't do anything else. Just from time to time raid the caravans and get something, live on it. That is Ghifar. And this Abu Dharr name, Ghifari, from Ghifar, was one of them, maybe the worst. Because he was angry with the situation, because these chieftains were really oppressing them, exploiting the people. They were not happy with life, so they took this way as a profession. One day, he heard from someone, some narration says from his brother, I don't know, it doesn't matter, from someone, there was a man in Mecca who was opposing the idea that some people will have a superior position in the community because they are rich or because they come from some powerful family background or some special things, not because of their virtue. And this man is challenging the whole society and alone. A few people, slaves around him, poor people around him in early Meccan period. And he is insisting that this way of life should come to an end. Slavery will be abolished. Everybody is equal before God, the Creator. He heard this, that is my way. Came to Mecca, but the tradition is such that if someone comes with no protection, they capture him and enslave him or her. So he went to Mecca, came to Mecca, find out this guy. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Challenging this structure. Everything is wrong. He's not happy with it. That's what they are angry. And he came there. And of course, he wanted to disguised himself. With some narrations that he was hiding behind the curtain over the Kaaba. But I don't know, it is a bit, but he was hiding. And Ali, Caliph Ali, Imam Ali was young, but how old was he? Let's say 6 years old. He joined the Prophet, and it was maybe 12, 13. I'm approximating it. Not 18 or something, no, but not 3 years old either. Somewhere around, early teenager. And he realized that somebody is trying not to show his face, that he's a foreigner in this tribe, in Mecca. So Imam Ali approached him. Who are you? Yeah, my uncle, like this. Who are you? He said, I am Abu Dhar. Where are you from? He's a child. He said, I'm from Ghufar. Oh, Meccans shouldn't see you here. Why did you come here? As a child. Then there was somebody, let's use his language now. There was a guy who was challenging this system of tribal pride, some tribes are better than the others. He says, no, everybody's equal. Who is this guy? I can introduce you, but Lord, Darul Arqam, where it was a house that the Prophet used to study the revelation thus far revealed to the people who embraced Islam and were sympathetic to this teaching. So they were gathering there. He said, look, without letting anybody know that you came for Muhammad, yeah, his name is Muhammad. So he came for Muhammad. I will go. If I go further to the street, follow me very behind. So they wouldn't know that I'm taking you to Muhammad. Otherwise, they will catch you. So just walk in the street as somebody, nobody, and going somewhere, not Muhammad's place where he is. So when I just turn back, it means there is danger. You may be recognized. No, this is a very interesting study. And they went and introduced Muhammad. Muhammad was a simple, other people like it. There's no difference. That's why the envoys used to come from different places the people are sitting here, but there is no difference. Who's Muhammad? They didn't know. There was no distinguishing feature that the dress and sitting high on something on imam, or people put there something that I am the imam, or specific was nothing. That is not really Islamic, by the way. Anyways, that is the tradition. So what happened? They said, this is Muhammad. Said, what are you teaching? He embraced Islam and became, look at this transformation, from the worst man into the best man, became the most pious companion. And Prophet Muhammad acknowledged his piety. He said, no one can be like you. So you will die alone, he said. No one can live this pious way, simple way, like you do. You will die. And he died alone. That's the history says. Have you heard of this Abu Dharr al-Ghafari story? Did you hear it? Yeah, it was so amazing. So Islam transfers the person. You never know. That's what God is saying here. Because your Lord knows the best who has strayed from his way. An sabili, again the same word, sabil, from his way. And who is right the guide. No one knows. So what I wrote in Article 5, we don't know who deserves to be rightly guided, but God knows. We have to know. This person, every day he drinks. So he steals and he cheats people. There is no hope. Don't deal with him. No, we don't know. We don't know. God is really definitely speaking here. Inna rabbeke huve a'lemu bimen dalla an sabili. It's very strong language. Huve a'lemu bimen dalla. Straight away. I mean, just going out of the way completely. God knows. It means you don't know. You have to treat everybody with the positive hope. And again, وهو أعلم بمن مهتدين أعلم بالمهتدين. So only he knows who is rightly guided. You don't know. You may be that I am a pious person. No, there will be another event. We have to stop soon. I am a pious person, seems to be. You don't know. Maybe I am the most arrogant man to my wife. You don't know. Go and ask my. So he knows, right, the guidance. So what we have to do, we should not be judgmental towards anyone. Impossible. That's what the Quran is teaching. And I said something, don't stereotype people. All Americans are down with America. But how many people live here? 380 million people. How can you say Americans are horrible, criminals? 99.9 people don't know what is going on in the White House. So the political decisions have nothing to do with the ordinary people in the street. They don't know. They just listen to media, which is all manipulations, by the way, lies upon lies. You never know. When discover one layer, there is another lie underneath it. So they are just manipulating people, a handful of people. The rest is innocent. You don't know who is who. So if you go to the Muslim country, everybody, you don't know. So there is no stereotyping. There is no being judgmental to anyone. Everybody is a candidate to acknowledge God, get in his way, God's way. So treat everybody the most perfect person. Either now or tomorrow to be. Oh, if I would like to take this advice for me, please God, follow this advice. Let me follow this advice for myself, inshallah. All right, inshallah, this is done. And next one we are going to study is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inshallah, that's what my plan is. If Allah allows, next week. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Any urgent comments, questions? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin bi hurmati